Greetings, everybody. I wanted to pop by with the new guidance from the CDC and the governor's office and just let you know how that's going to be beginning to impact the Sunday morning worship services this weekend. And I appreciate your patience as we've tried to work through this in a way that really could honor our whole church family. We know there's a group of people who are chomping at the bit, literally, to come back to a worship service without masks or face coverings, as we've been calling them, or social distancing. And so we're working on how that happens, and there'll be more details in the email. We also know that there's a group of folks that, even with the new guidance, that they've not had a chance to be vaccinated yet. All of our kids under 16, they have not had a chance to be vaccinated yet. We know some folks have underlying health concerns that just make it prudent for them not to be in indoor settings with large groups of people that wouldn't have face coverings on and social distancing. So here's what we're going to do, trying to figure out how all this works together. The 8 and the 11 are going to be called what we're calling face covering optional. Face covering optional and no distancing. You can attend 8 or 11 and you can wear a face covering or not wear a face covering. We're not going to have any tape in the pews, so you can sit where you like. We would encourage that you not sit on top of one another, but you don't normally do that anyway, and that we are just considerate. If you want to wear face covering to that service, you are more than welcome to. If that makes it comfortable enough for you to I can be in with other people who may be closer than 6 feet and not wearing a face covering, but if you're comfortable just because you'll have one on, then you are welcome to that service. You're going to see from the front that many of the staff will continue to wear face coverings. We want to make sure that everybody knows if you're wearing one, we're wearing one. It's hospitable. You are welcome to do that. And B, we have our own underlying health concerns that just makes it prudent for us, many of us, to continue to do these things that protect us and to protect others. 8 and 11, think of them as pre-COVID services in a real way. It would be something that you would have experienced back before the pandemic. 9:30 is going to be a dedicated space that we are going to ask for face coverings mandatory. We have been really careful not to use mandatory or required, or we've used the words encouraging and inviting, but 9:30 it will be mandatory. We want to create one of the spaces for worship that if anyone's not been vaccinated, if anyone has underlying health concerns, if anyone is just simply not comfortable yet being in a room with other people without face coverings on, this would be the service that you'd come to. It's going to look like the other services. We'll sing, we'll have the choral scholars there, and everything else is going to look exactly the same, except we're going to ask everyone who attends to be in a face covering for the whole length of the service. And we're hoping that will allow at least one of the services to be conducive for our folks who are either not ready for that or really it would not be best for them. Now, a lot of other things that I'm not going to tell you about, but just know, Sunday school, we've been working through that. Children's ministry, youth ministry, you're going to get direct emails and contact from your leaders in those areas. So be looking for something from your Sunday school class, or Cameron or Cassidy, depending on if you have children or youth that are part of your family, and they'll communicate in that way. So what about this weekend? It's going to start this weekend. 8, 11, face covering optional. 9:30, face covering mandatory. Now, if you've already told us you're coming to one of the services and you need to change that up, it's not that big a deal, because we're going to have plenty of room for everyone, because without having to worry about social distancing at 8 and 11, we really could have up to 330 people. That's 60% of our capacity, and that's the only restriction for the 8 and 11. The 9:30, we really feel comfortable that we're going to have enough space for people socially distanced that are wearing face coverings, and so we're really not worried about that at all. If you wanted to shoot us an email to respond to this email and let us know, hey, things have changed, or is it okay if I do this or that, we're always going to be here, and feel free to reach out. But just know this, from this point forward, we don't see that signups are necessary, and we'll just see how things go and manage from there. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your willingness at every turn to say, okay, what can we do, and let's focus on that versus what can't we do. And it's a day that we've been pointing towards, and the staff has actually been talking. This is just only a God thing, I think. That Monday we had this exact conversation about what we think it's close. We were thinking July. We weren't thinking the end of the week, but we were thinking, by July we're probably going to get a release from the mask mandate. And what does that mean for us, and how can we care best for one another? And we feel like this will do it. So let me just recap. 8 and 11, face covering optional, no social distancing. We're not going to be checking vaccine cards or anything else, so it's just honor system. We're not going to go that far. 9:30 is face covering mandatory. So we're going to ask everybody there to wear a face covering for the entire length of the service. And we will just see what happens from there. Thanks so much for being who you are, literally who you are, and allowing us to be so flexible and go forward in this way. I'm excited that this is sort of a new day that is dawning. I know many of you are excited, and I'm also realized that there are some who are just a little nervous about this because this is a big change. And now all of a sudden, Kroger and Lowe's and every place else that you go are going to look differently. And I know there is some folks that are nervous about that. And so I want you to hear that it is okay. Wherever you are, we're going to do our best to take care of you for Sunday morning worship. Live stream's going to continue at 11 as is until Jesus comes back. Yeah, that's the plan. We're not going to stop the live stream regardless. So that's always an option for you as well. I look forward to seeing you this weekend. However you want to attend, come at 8 or 11 with optional face mask, or come at 9:30 with make sure face coverings are there for everybody, or I'll see you online. Thank you. And I'll see you soon.